Hello guys, welcome back. There's a certain game, and believe me, this connects back to Loki, that had a $200 version. And I was interested to see what people thought that bought it. So I went and I looked up an article. And God's bless him, this guy had bought this $200, version of this game, and he got it in the mail. I felt so bad for this guy. He paid $200 for this, and the showpiece was the helmet he got. And you could tell he was not happy with his helmet. He was trying to salvage it by saying it looks neat and everything, but you could tell he wasn't happy because when you wore it, it wasn't padded. You couldn't really see out of it. The voice changer on it didn't work. The only part that lit up was this one part. Overall, he wasn't really happy with it. I felt so bad because he wanted it so badly that he paid $200 for it. And he hadn't even played the game before he did the review. He just reviewed this, and he got a glow-in-the-dark map and some little soldier bin. I think you know the game I'm talking about. And I felt bad for this guy. I really felt for him because he's this huge fan of the game, obviously. And he, it wasn't like one of those YouTube channels where they just go out and they spend money on stuff to try to get views. You could really tell he loved this game, and he was really upset that this helmet wasn't the quality he expected. He's trying to salvage it by saying, well, at least it's cool, and it's, it's official merch and everything. And he goes, I guess it'll look okay on your shelf, but not in actual sunlight, because then you'll see how bad it looks, and it smells like death inside. I felt so bad for this guy. And I'm like, and here I am. He spent $200. Here I am doing the great moral debate of is a game worth $2 when it was originally $20. And Loki just smiled. And I said, that's kind of how life is. And Loki's like, Sometimes you really expect something to be really wonderful, and wow, I know what he expected, what we all expected the first time we got our Stormtrooper helmet or got our Darth Vader helmet. Wow, right? You got it and it's cheap plastic and you just kept looking at it, and you wore it anyhow, but it was just cheap plastic, and you felt so bad. Yeah, I know exactly how this guy felt. I'm like, yeah, it's so brutal, because my brother used to let me wear his Darth Vader helmet, and it's like, they're cool if you're 8. If you're a grown adult, and you just paid $200 for this thing, because, let's face it, you could throw the game out, you wanted the helmet. I feel for this man. I really do. And I'm not laughing at him. We've all done that. I've been a fan of so many things that you go out and you buy this stuff and you think it's going to be beautiful. And you got garbage in a box is what you got. And life can be that way. It doesn't just have to be collectibles or stuff you don't need. Sometimes you're looking forward to an event or a movie or a promotion or something, and it's just utter garbage in a box, and you're looking at it like, this isn't what I wanted. And you're trying to be happy because you got what you wanted, but it's not what you wanted because it's nowhere near as good as you thought it would be. Where I thought this diving game, and we're getting back to Loki, would be hot garbage. And it's been one of the best titles I've played in VR, if not the best. Because it's as close to... I haven't done deep sea diving, obviously. I've done like snorkeling and that, but not deep sea diving. But it's as close to reality, I would say, as any diving game I've had, because the fish don't just usually stick in one area. They migrate and stuff like that. And there are some fish that are in certain areas, but it's for like, you actually play an underwater photographer, so that makes sense. You have to know where to go to shoot these fish, or you would never get the game finished. And we played it 6 hours, and in those 6 hours I had 2 surprise encounters. One was a dolphin that did not like her picture being taken. She turned around, she came and she hit me in the side. And like I said, there's something in VR that your brain starts to fill it in. I didn't like get knocked out of my chair, but it was like you could feel the impact in your imagination. And then she came up underneath me, and it wasn't a friendly gesture. It wasn't, ooh, let me give you a ride. It was, you put that camera down. You put it down now. I didn't tell you you could take my picture. And I've never had another dolphin do it before or since. They've all been really calm, but I've stayed the hell away from them when I've taken their photographs. I'm like, damn, these animals are mean. I thought they were the angels of the ocean. They're nasty. And every other animal, great whites, rays, orcas, they've been chill. You get as close as you want. I had a surprise encounter with a crocodile. I was, in Africa, and we're doing the show. He's like, how would you like to meet the animals? I'm like, yay, animals. We're going to go see baby elephants, right? He's like, nah, go in the water. You'll be fine. Go take some pictures, crocodiles. I'm like, how come you volunteer me for every single mission? I don't ever see you out in the water. I don't think you can swim. You get out there and you film the crocodiles. That sounds like a good idea. And the one crocodile was doing that thing they do, that kind of dead man's float they do for hours and hours and hours, that they're a log, they're not a crocodile. And he was chill. He didn't care. But there was one that was really frisky, and I couldn't figure out why it kept moving on the map. And it was doing all these swims and everything else. And after I took her picture, she came so close. She was like, if I could have moved my hands in the game, I could have reached up and petted her, and that would have been the last thing I did. But she swam in circles around me, and she kind of swam up and nudged me a little. And she was really curious. And I was terrified because I know that never ends well for humans. But it was an amazing encounter. And I said, that was worth the $2 right there. Having her come that close. And there have been a lot of wow moments, like when you first come up on a wreck, or you first come up on your first orca, or your first great white. You dive in this one area, and there's this great white that likes to just keep circling you. And she's beautiful, and it's amazing to see her, and you're safe, but she likes to circle you, and she's checking you out, and she's checking the boat out, and she's huge. So it's been a really amazing experience, and I don't care that the game's 4 years old. I am the only disappointment is, since it's been an orphan game, the company officially orphaned it. They tend to do that a lot with their games, I've noticed. Things that are listed will never be added, ever. Like, the touch controllers are supposed to work, and they don't. But I can use the Xbox controller, it's not a big deal. It takes me out of the game a little bit, but I'm like, well, hey, at least it runs. And there were other missions you were supposed to be able to go on, photography missions, like shooting plant life and stuff like that, which means the world was probably supposed to be built up from what it is. And it's not there, but, at least there is a lot of stuff. Like I said, we've played it 6 hours so far, and I haven't even unlocked everything. I don't know if you can play the final level, the Queen Anne's Revenge. I hope you can, because I would love to dive that wreck. But I don't know. And of course, it's not going to look like real life dives. Obviously not. You can tell you're in VR, and yet the illusion's good enough that I just go down there and I chill. And if you stop, fish are insanely curious. They'll all come up to you and check you out, and they gotta see you, and they start to all nibble on you. And even though you don't even have a body in this game, you can feel it, and you're laughing underwater, and you're trying to swat these fish away so they stop nibbling on you, but they're all nibbling on you. It's really cute. There's like a room you can go into when you're getting your little water wings, so to speak. You can go in there and you can be with angelfish, and that's like the coolest thing ever. So we really enjoyed it. But there was a game it was compared to, and everybody that didn't like it compared it to it because they expected this game to be this other game. And I won't mention this other game. But it's a $20 title. No, it's actually a $24 title. And it's one of those games that makes me wonder, do people really like these video games, or have video games progressed to the point where people only like a game if some big important person on YouTube played it? Because that's what it's starting to sound like. And There were people that were truly in love with that game, but there were over 2,000 people that thought it was a dumpster fire and hated the game and couldn't see what all the people who loved it were going on about because they hated it. So it sounds like one of those ones that'll just wait a couple more years on that, and that'll go down from 24 to like 240 or something, and the whole snap out of. I don't mind being 4 or 5 years behind on the games I'm playing because I'm not trying to run a gaming channel. I'm not trying to impress anybody with playing the latest title first or having secret content or sponsors or anything. So I'm enjoying it. It was the best blessing I ever got when the behavior of people kind of ruined the other channel. It was the best blessing I ever got because I don't have to worry about going out and getting some expensive title. I don't have to worry about playing games people want to see played. I can go play what I want. If I want to play a 5-year-old game that's on sale for 99 cents or 49 cents or whatever, I can play it and enjoy it. It was just as expensive as the games that are out now. It's a couple years old and they're not updating it anymore. So, I hope you guys like that, because Loki wanted to see if I learned a lesson in 6 hours, and I was like, watch what you photograph? The ocean's a hot mess, because you can also do ecology stuff, like picking all the garbage out of the ocean, and which is kind of sad, because when I came to Africa, I almost started to cry. I really did, because you come to Africa, and you're like, I'm finally in Africa, and you turn around you, and there's just garbage everywhere in Africa because, a lot of people just dump stuff everywhere when they're visiting somewhere or whatever because nature will take care of it. And there's just all this garbage, all over, like near the dock area and everything. I got so upset. And then you're diving in the water and there's like garbage and I'm like gonna cry. And Lucky's like, it's okay, it's just a game. I go, just a game? This is what it's like in reality. This is sad. So that part of the game was sad. Is sad. It's truthful, but it's sad. And it was funny because I think Lucky's showing off his sea god aspect. Because an article popped up for me today about, they're showing all these deep sea cuties that they found, and I think they're adorable. The uglier most people would think the fish is, the more I love it. I think they're adorable. And they said it was sad that they saw garbage down there in the deep sea. They did find garbage and they found fishing lines, stuff like that. And they said it's sad to see that, but it's part of our reality. Mankind has polluted the planet so much that areas that used to be clean, like the deep sea and like the trenches and that, have garbage in them now, which is bad because it's not going to disappear or go back to mama nature. It's just going to sit there for thousands of years because it's made out of plastic, and degrading plastic isn't good for the water. So it was something. I think he's trying to kind of tie it all together and get his sea thing, because I've been getting all the sea stuff. The Oculus having the pirate thing, this game, just a lot of sea-centric articles coming up, so it's been interesting. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.